The recent Dahmer show has left the world shocked with its vile retelling of the true story of the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, but it turns out the show has some things that they didn't let the viewers in on. Hey there guys, what's happening and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to take a look at Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story Secrets. Number 5. Glenda Cleveland wasn't as involved as seen on the show. The character of Glenda Cleveland was quite a prominent character in the show. She's seen interacting with Dahmer on more than one occasion, but in reality, she never even met Dahmer. Not only that, she didn't even live in the same building as him and was in fact residing in the building next to his. But that doesn't mean that Glenda wasn't involved in the case in no way, shape, or form. She alerted the feds when she saw 14-year-old Connor Synthesome phone acting all doozy after escaping from Dahmer's apartment on May 27, 1991. Believe it or not, the actual call Glenda made to them is actually available for the public to see. The police, as they did in the show, appeared on the scene but were convinced by the cunning Dahmer that Connor was his 19-year-old drunk boyfriend. Connor was then allowed to be taken by Dahmer back to his apartment where he was brutally killed. Number 4. The infamous Exorcist 3 scenes. Viewers of the show are quite familiar with the fact that Dahmer was somewhat obsessed with the Exorcist 3 movie, which he showed to his victims before murdering them. A lot of people believe that it was just added into the show for dramatic effect, but what if we told you that it wasn't? In an interview that Dahmer did with Inside Edition after his arrest, he explained that he did show the people he was planning to kill the third part of The Exorcist. I felt so hopelessly evil and perverted that I actually derived a sort of pleasure from watching that tape, he explained. Dahmer also claimed he wasn't exactly fond of murdering people and was more interested in making them incapacitated. Apparently, he didn't like feeling evil and even tried to overcome his vile urges but failed to do so. Whether this was a genuine confession or he just made it with the intention of gaining sympathy is for you to decide. Number 3. Did he drink human blood? In episode 4 of Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story, Dahmer got himself a job as a phlebotomist at the Milwaukee Blood Plasma Center. We know what you're thinking. A cannibal working at a blood plasma center? That wouldn't work out well. And guess what? It didn't. It didn't shock anyone when Dahmer proceeded to steal a bag of blood, bring it to his house, and then chug it down as if it was cranberry juice. However, this isn't how it played out in reality. Yes, Dahmer did work at a blood plasma center. He even got the vile urge to drink some of the blood while working there, but when he took a vial of it to drink on the roof of the center, he spat it out because he didn't like the taste of it. So yeah, although Dahmer was as wicked as a human being can get, some of his hardcore behavior is exaggerated. For more such videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel as well as hit that bell icon so you never miss out on the latest updates and notifications. Number 2. Did Dahmer really feed human flesh to his neighbors? One of the few people who wasn't suspicious of Dahmer during the days he was on his killing spree was his neighbor Pamela Bass. Surprisingly, Pamela didn't sense anything off with Jeffrey in all the time she met him. She even went as far to say in an interview that she liked Jeffrey and thought he was no different from any other person. If you're a fan of the show but can't recall who Pamela is, then that's because she wasn't included in the Netflix show. After Dahmer got caught, Pamela said to the press that she found him friendly and generous. Disturbingly enough, she also told that Dahmer also fed her some sandwiches on more than one occasion. When it was discovered that Dahmer had a knack for dismembering and eating his victims, it suddenly hit Pamela that the sandwiches Dahmer gave her might not have contained just chicken. "I've probably eaten somebody's body parts," she said. Now that would be a hard fact for anyone to swallow. No pun intended, by the way. Number 1. Dahmer was once previously arrested. Some serial killers do come across as charming and relatively normal. When people close to them find out what they have done, they typically have a hard time believing it, but that wasn't the case with Dahmer. The guy was a walking red flag. Dahmer was once fined $50 for flashing people at the Wisconsin State Fair. He was later kicked out of a bathhouse when he apparently drugged 2 men. Not only that, before being outed as a gruesome murderer, Dahmer was arrested and charged with sexually assaulting Sonsak Synthesome, who coincidentally was the brother of Connor Synthesome, one of his victims, in 1988. He was charged with a year in jail and had to take part in 5 years of probation work upon his release. And that about does it for this video, guys. So here were some of the secrets that the second most watched show on Netflix, Monster: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story, didn't tell you.